It's the Le Mans 24-hour here at the Circuit de la Sarthe. It's the fourth round of the 2025 World Endurance Championship, but this is the big one. It's time for qualifying to decide the running orders for further down the fields and see who's going to advance into Hyperpole tomorrow. Welcome to the most critical hour and a half of the entire weekend. And you might wonder why I say a critical hour and a half, because if you get your car in the right position to qualify to Hyperpole, it makes your 24 hours a lot more easier. If you fail, you A, miss out on crucial track time at similar time to what the race will be, and B, you miss out on the chance for double points. And this is going to be a big one. Alongside me in the commentary box is JT. We've got the World Feed and Radio Le Mans down there as well, but JT, it's time for us to strap ourselves into the commentary box and go for 24 hours across a Saturday and Sunday. And do you know what? It's easy for us now because we do 39-hour weekends anyway, but there's something always special about Le Mans. And this year, it's just better and better. More hypercars, more categories coming in. Asian Le Mans Series, European Le Mans Series, all coming in. It's just, it feels like we finally got the place back where we need it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's people that I know that are doing the 24 hours of Le Mans this week, the 24 hours of Nürburgring next week, and the 24 hours of Spa the week after, all at trackside. So, yeah.
That's brave. I wouldn't do that, mainly because next week we're at Alton Park for that one, so that's going to be a lot of fun. 41 cars are about to head out to the circuit. They split up the qualifying segments, so the LMP2 and the GT3s are out first, and then we'll have the running order for Hypercar. And it's a good idea to close it out, JT, but I think the problem is we're going to have a lot of traffic for the LMP2 cars. They've been saying for years, don't send us out with the GT3s. They feel it's unfair that there's that amount of traffic compared to Hypercar. You get free reign.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, having 3 different sessions for each of the different classes, is it a bad idea? Is it a good idea? I'll let you decide on that. But we are 1.5 minutes now till the green flag and the green light at the end of the pit lane drops for the next session.
There's our full timing tower with both of the 41s open. We'll have the full Hypercar later on in the session as well when they venture out to the track. 30 minutes on the clock for this one. It is qualifying, so let's get that system sorted at the moment. With the qualifying deltas, it's always a bit in the up and down when we've been trying to get this sorted, because the timing towers have been our main focus for the last 2 hours. Let's cross over to the World Feed.
Afford to have any traffic of LMGT3s in your way, and the same way for the LMGT3s, you don't want to be dive bombed.
Under 1 minute to open pit exit, under 1 minute to start LMGT3 and LMP2 qualifying session.
So if you're watching this at home, as I know a lot of you do with live timing and scoring, remember, don't just focus on who's quickest, focus in this session who's 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th.
Yep,
that's where the cut zone is going to be.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as we go. We've got 30 seconds until the green light goes on now, and I suppose the one thing that I'm most worried about, JT, at the moment, as we hear from the race director.
I have my own protocol. If I see LMGTPs are disturbing that protocol, I will let them go. I cannot really, it's compromising.
That's the 46 squad.
Pit exit will open in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Pit exit is now open. Pit exit is now open.
And we're underway for qualifications at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2025. 30 minutes then on the clock for the first group to head out there across between the LMP2s and the GT3s. Let's see what we're going to have out there as well. 41 cars in total will venture out. Compare that to the 21 that we're going to have for Hypercar in around about 45 minutes time. It's a stark contrast as to what we're going to see, but out they go then, and delighted that A, timing and scoring is working, and B, that 2 hours of work has now fixed itself, which is brilliant, brilliant news. Weather, track temperature, that's at 43 degrees Celsius, air temperature at 31. Dew point, that's at 38% as the night will progress in as well. There'll be a few more water vapours around, and that's not too bad of a situation that we're expecting. I actually don't know where Omi is. He said what time's qualifying, he hasn't got in yet, so might want to send JT down, who's going to be patrolling the pits for us at this stage of the session as well, as the Ferrari heads out there onto the circuit as well. Down the bottom half of our timing tower, it's the AWA Racing as with the Canadian squad venturing out there. Down out of the pit lane. Now you're allowed to use the normal pit exit in qualifications, not the 24-hour exit which filters in to the Le Mans chicanes, and to what we see with MotoGP when we race here having to be used. Here you can drift right back on into the circuit. There's the Iron Dame squad, who JT, they've had to pull out the Le Mans Cup race, but they've not had to pull out, thankfully, the 24 hours, which was a big concern after Michelle's injury. But Sarah Bovey back in, got the call, and she's now going to be racing here this weekend.
Yeah, pulled out of the Road to Le Mans series, which is one of the support races here. The other being the Ford Mustang Invitational. Well, it was a little bit confusing. Was it the actual Le Mans, or was it Road to Le Mans? But we found out it was Road to Le Mans. But a driver change mentioned for the actual Le Mans 24 hours for the Iron Dames car, as we are on board with one of the GT3s.
The Mansell 92 with Hardwick at the wheel, so he's qualifying that one today as they head down towards Mulsanne and before Indianapolis, and that's where we're heading now. The 183 and the 28. The 28 cars are first out there on the circuit. They're all entering Mulsanne now, as you can see on your driver tracker alongside us in the booth. Homie GTV, shout out from Los Angeles, California. I hope everybody is staying safe in Los Angeles right now as well, with the situation developing there as well. Let's go. Thank you for those comments. Beautiful intro, and you're the best. Apologies, we were slightly late on air. Let's have the Proto competition semi-final.
Take it easy, mate. Do your best. We are thinking on the race. Just do your best. Enjoy the quali.
That's with Sousa at the wheel, the 77 Proton competition car in the LMP2 squad. Just take it easy. Don't do anything too foolish straight away. Now, when the session opens up, we have the ability to go with both 1 and 2 timings, so you can see the whole squad alongside us here in the commentary box, and we'll also be switching to the full battle screen throughout the session as well, so you at home will get all the information possible, and we're even adding more screens ahead of race day. We'll have a dedicated page which will show the timings for each of the series as well, with full sectors, and we'll have multiple onboard cameras that we can show to during the race as well, so you're going to be in the best seat in the house for 24 hours with data, and watch the entire JB Motorsports team go absolutely crazy, as I'm sure JT knows. It's usually standard, isn't it, that around about 2-3 somebody loses it. It's usually me first.
You mean the Eurosport and other Spanish broadcasters, not JBM? Yeah. Last year it was all right. Could have been worse.
That's safety car now.
Yes. We've got Sanson joining us this year, so yeah.
What could possibly go wrong? Nah, Jake Sanson, it'd be nice to have him back as well after Rolex in January. A couple of others, but not many. He's been a busy boy, moving around the world. That's the first time. As you can already see the split, if you take a look at our camera on the driver track, you can see the split between the LMP2s and the GT3s. It just shows you the speed differential between them. In LMP2, invitational that they are racing at Le Mans, of course, because they no longer are part of the World Endurance Championship. They've moved on to the European Le Mans Championship and the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Cars. So it's very rare to see LMP2 here, but it's an open event. Le Mans is sort of special. It's still part of the World Endurance Championship, but I suppose, JT, it's nice that he opens up to everything, because that's the spirit of Le Mans. That was one of the main concerns that WEC had for a while. They sort of kept it closely guarded to their own, and now we've opened up in the last few years, and everybody's welcome back.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, I've just been reminded that because it's Le Mans, you get some really radio first.
Okay, for info, tire will be ready in lap 2 if you want to manage full spot for lap 2.
That's a Van Ultra as well on the iDeck Sport 28 car, just being warned about tyre pressures. Go on, JT.
Yeah, you get some really strange race control messages, which you wouldn't normally get anywhere else and in any other series, like LMP2 LMGT3 qualifying session will start at 18:45 local. Discord is online.
It's weird. They use Discord. That's how race control talk to each other, and that's what we use up here in the comment box. It's Discord. So
even if it breaks every like 10 seconds.
It does, which is really, really, really annoying. But for once, it was the timing screens that broke, and it's not even our main timing tower. Once again, literally the reason we were late on air is because I had to do an emergency timing tower because the actual one has broken. Let me show you, actually. Let's just turn that one off for a second.
Oh, and also there is now a copy to clipboard button
Hang on a minute, what is it?
on
There you
every
go.
single time in 71.
Is it really?
Make a
Fantastic.
promise.
Look, that's our actual timing screen. It broke again. I have no idea why, and it's really, really annoying me. There we go. So I've had to make an emergency backup one with everything, which is all messed up. But hopefully as the session progresses, LMP2s will be the top, GT3s will be the bottom. We can just scooch up. Hypercar will be fine, though. But yeah, first time's on the board then, finally. And let's get this show on the road. It's a long lap here, over 3.5 minutes. Let's hear from the 16
drivers.
Are you sure about this mode? Because I'm losing a lot of time in the straight.
Yeah, stay with this mode.
That first bit was, are you sure about this mode? Because I'm losing a lot of time in the straights. Couldn't quite hear him over the radio, so that transcript came in handy. But they're sure about it. They're going for it. And I suppose that's kind of what's needed at the moment. As the VDS Panis Racing number 48 bouncing over the curbs and making a small mistake coming through the chicane into Recruitment, and that's going to unfortunately be an invalidated lap time as the 48 with Masson at the wheel goes across the line. TTS Racing in the Pro-Am category goes fastest though, and fastest overall NMP2 for the 29 TDS Racing, 25 APR in second. RLR Motorsport goes third in the 16 squad, and the times coming through. GT3s just now starting their lap times as well. Fastest in that category is the 92 Manthe First Font car with Hardwick at the wheel. He's done a 3:58.055. DDS Racing 3:38.138. You can see the 20 seconds difference at the moment. Just outside of the Hyperpole qualification for LMP2 is the 34 into Europole car. That's currently qualified so far. But good stuff so far, JT, as the opening parts of this session roll on.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are continuing to circulate with a couple of cars moving up in LMGT3 and the Hyperpole graphic being added now. The Ford, I believe the 77 Proton Ford just moved up onto the board.
Yeah, I might try and highlight where that position is. It would be, it's down in 12th position for each category as well that we need to start keeping an eye upon as we ride on board with Louis Delatraz in the AO by TF 199 LMP2 squad as they head down. I believe we're coming towards the Porsche curve, so this is just rejoining the main straight. If you're wondering where you can watch this, it's on FIA WEC TV and TNT Sports 2 in the UK.
Down in towards Indianapolis.
Yeah. So through into Indianapolis and Anage. Oh, there's been dust kicked up before. Also available as well going on with F1. It's on FIA WEC TV, TNT Sports 2 and Discovery Plus. So 19 minutes 30 to go. Ben Hanley at the wheel, qualifying. Do you remember him back at the Daytona 24 Hours where he qualified 2 cars in one session and then raced 2 cars? He's not doing that this weekend, but the United Autosports squad, he narrowly missed out on pole position in the LMP2 at Daytona. So through we go into the Ford chicane before Recudemont. Thierry Pourchaire, by the way, in the 25 Algarve Pro Racing squad, up by a second in the middle sector, by the way, for the APR. Here we go for the 23 United Autosports through the chicane at Recudemont, over the line for Ben Hanley then. Is it fastest overall for the United Autosports squad? Yes, it is, but keep an eye out straight behind for Thierry Pourchaire, who's got a lot of running. Delatraz goes top as well for the AO by TF. So Delatraz in the 199 now kicks out the 37 CLX Pure Racing squad. Is it racing or rexing as well, with how it is, RXCING between the two? But United Autosports into second, the 28 IDEX Sport in third, TDS Racing go for, oh no, fifth as AF Corsa, 183 goes up into fourth position. That Ferrari fast so far on the timing sheets, as here comes Pourchaire. Over the line comes Pourchaire, 8th fastest at the moment. And goes top, 336.612 on the timing monitors at the moment. 41, 62 in total. This is between LMP2 and GT3, as you can see on our timing towers at the moment. On board with the BMW 46, Valentino Rossi's team. And joining me in the commentary box now is Megan Burge. Hello, Megan. How are you doing?
This is wrong, this headset.
All right, well, I'll let you fix it. Here comes the 46 squad in Valet's colours over the line. Valentino not driving. LA Hartley is at the wheel and goes second fastest. Valet does stand a good chance to win. Let's hear from him.
Let's hear from the radio.
Anywhere, man, if you have traffic, keep pushing, finish this lap for fuel burning.
So they just...
How's that?
It's better. I will be popping in and out since there isn't the multiple of these.
Through 2 qualifiers and then there's a practice session later.
Because I am starting to feel a tiny bit bad.
I had a headache, so is it? How are you feeling bad, mum-wise?
My nasals have been going all day.
I'll keep an eye on you. It's Le Mans time next, time for us to be locked in. You stayed a lot longer last year and actually enjoyed yourself.
I did enjoy myself.
You're looking forward to it this year alongside
Maybe.
Canada?
Maybe. I think it'll be more stressful with Canada, so I'm more apprehensive about it this year. So it's very hot in this box.
Thanks, F1.
Yeah. It can't be better than next year. Do you want to go open the door?
Don't mention it.
Ian James at the moment in the fourth squad for the Heart of Racing. Ian P4 looking quick. The Codis ASP team running in 5th and still trying to find some through the Ford chicane into Recudemont and then over the line. We've got a yellow flag.
Ooh!
And that's in the first sector. Can't see anyone who's stopped right now. Just there. It's down at the chicane. We've got a car off at the chicane.
We'll see in a sec.
I'm concerned to why my timing thing's not picked that up.
It's the 60. So it's in the GT3 field, which is further down our timing page. And it is the Iron Lynx with Gilbert at the wheel. Now, is that going to bring out a red flag if he stopped? He stopped at the exit of the chicane. Yeah, it is the 60. You can see on the timing tower he stopped. Red flag's out!
Oh, why do I always bring chaos? Maybe I should go in.
So session stopped then, but Ben Hanley did get across the line in time. Yeah, it's that second. For the second time today, a Mercedes have brought out a red flag. The return to the Silver Arrows for the first time since 1999 is not exactly going well, is it?
Well, at least it's not high up in the board.
Oh, yeah, BMW. They don't know whether to laugh or cry, do they?
Both.
Yeah, because they had a good lap time there. That's been spoiled by that red flag. So 15:12 left on the clock. Red flag has come out. All cars will now return into the pit lane.
Well, the good thing is only stopped like about 20 feet away from the place where the truck comes out, so...
So we listen to radio.
We'll try to investigate.
there is an issue we're trying to investigate. It just came to a stop, didn't it? Straight out of pit lane.
Technical issues. They should be concerned about that.
Let's see. Of course, no red flags in the race. Le Mans has never, ever, ever been red flagged.
Never will be.
Nope. It's the only race in the world that has never been stopped. It never will be. So, session stopped. It'll be restarted on short notice, so we've got a bit of time. Let's hand it downstairs then onto the barrel screen. Sit down now, makes me like. And return it, because the car's got to get back to pit lane yet, and you can see where they all are. The 87's just passing the start line now. Let's head down to the world feed.
Andy, good job with the lap, by the way. That was a good, 4 minute of a dead 0.7. So good job. And just wait with the car.
I lost 1:30. It would have been a sub-4. Just the car was sputtering through the board chicane.
That's either got a fuel feed problem or they didn't put enough fuel in the car, which seems unlikely.
It seems unlikely they'd be half a session out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not allowed to refuel during qualifying, so you wouldn't. But that does sound like it's a fuel pump or some other mechanical issue that cost him. Well, and that's a real shame actually, because that means now they've got no chance.
Let's take a moment to look at where we are in this session. Remember, the cut-off is 12 cars for each of these classes. The cars currently in right now, the 199 AO by TF, in for Hyperpole tomorrow.
But let's
with 15 minutes to go.
Let's focus on the ones that aren't, because that's a much shorter list.
Right, let's start with the 17th place car. That was the car late into the session, the number 99 Lynx Proton car, and they just managed to get a lap in, but it's way off, 8 seconds off for Richard de Geris. He's got a lot more to come.
And that's because he was actually just wedged in by LM GT3 cars. I was watching him on the tracker. He had like a dozen GT3 cars around him. So there's plenty to come from that. Nielsen's 24 car.
Colin Brown, and Colin in 16th place. He is 4 seconds off at the moment. 34 from into Europol, Luca Giotto, car that was in trouble during test day with a bit of an incident in the Porsche curves. That one sits 15th. 14th is Andre Lotterer in the 18 Edict Sport car. That's the Genesis Magma Racing car. We know there's a lot more to come from him. And Matthias Besch, who topped the times early on, remember, and he's in 13th place. The gap between safety and out at the moment is less than 1/10 of a second.
Yeah. And actually, it's worth pointing out, although if you're watching Le Mans, you may not have watched the European Le Mans series, this is not the first time that Andre Lotterer has sat in an LMP2 car this season. So it's not like he's learning the car.
He's done some testing, not a lot of testing,
yeah,
but he's done some testing.
But he has work to do. Corvette momentarily jumped to the top of the pile there with Tom van Rompuy, but the cars in danger, actually it's quite a long list in LMGT3. Half the field are in, half the field are out.
We are sending marshals on track on the last corner. We are sending marshals on track on the last corner.
That will be a clean-up, I'm sure, after some gravity moments. But let's go through the cars that currently are not going to progress unless there's an improvement in the second 15 minutes. And 13th, 14th, 15th, the Racing Spirit Le Mans Aston Martin, the 57 Kessel Racing Ferrari, the 21 Vista AF Corsa Ferrari, a race winner in the WEC so far. Iron Dames, the number 85. WRT, the number 31 BMW, and the 60 Iron Lynx AMG, the next up.
The brake is okay, but it's still locking like all my lap I lock into Ford, not Ford, sorry, Indy, the left side. I always lock the front, I don't know why, but on the braking was better, definitely better.
So asymmetric braking characteristic coming from that car and the driver reporting it, but I'm sure there's very little that the team can actually do right now. Front to rear, that's okay, but when it's from side to side, there's not much you can really do. Maybe some blanking that you can do to increase temperatures from one side to the other, but very little you can do.
That was Patrick Pilet. Sounded like he was saying that he was locking the left front in Indianapolis, which is a very fast right-hander. So there's a lot of strain on that left front corner there, particularly.
There is. Sometimes in a high-speed corner you can get a little bit of three-wheeling going on. One wheel in the air, hanging in the air slightly.
See, everybody hurrying back to the pit lane at an acceptably safe speed because marshals are on track and it is a red flag. But this is real pressure for the teams because you don't want to be fumbling the stop and having a problem with a wheel nut and your guy coming out right at the back of the queue and not getting a quick lap, because especially in LMGT3, half the field won't go through. Literally half the field, 12 out of 24.
Without taking into consideration Andrew Gilbert, who's obviously been off the track and has been recovered, the 87 Lexus, the last car to get back to pit lane under this red flag.
Team manager, car 60, your car will stay at MP3 where it is. You're not allowed to rejoin the session. Team manager, car 60, please tell your driver to help in the recovery operations. You're not allowed to rejoin the session.
And that's quite standard. If you bring out a red flag in qualifying, you take no further part in qualifying, whether it's whether the car comes back to the pit lane under its own steam or doesn't.
So yeah, for the rest of the competition, the 12 cars that are looking to get into this, that are currently not in the qualifying to get through to Hyperpole. Car 60 actually helps them. It's now only down to 11 people fighting it out.
So it will be out and 3 push laps, out and 3 push laps. Then we need fuel save on the in-lap. We most likely will have to fuel save in the in-lap, but we have fuel enough for 3 push laps. We can already go with a different power controller, so power controller 0, position 5.
Pit exit will open at 19:07:30. In 20 seconds, we're opening pit exit.
I am with Renger van der Zandt from United Autosport car 22. It's going pretty well so far. You're running P6. Do you think it's gonna go through for Hyperpole?
I mean, the green flag, green flag.
You know, this is everybody says this, but it's true. It's a long race, but it's nice to be in the front. You know, normally when something happens, it's in the middle or the back. So if you can qualify in front, that's the goal. So we can stay out of trouble and run a first trouble-free stint, let's say, and that's the goal. So, but Pietro Fittipaldi is super fast in our car so far. He's qualifying. Also Ben Hanley in the 23, the other United Autosport car is doing well. So we should have a good car to get into the top 12.
Well, good luck for you.
Thank you, thank you.
We're back underway then, as JT said, green flag. So 6 minutes 40 on my clock. Have they shrunk the time down? Surely not. I don't know about that. We've restarted with 15 minutes to go. Our timing towers are saying 6 minutes, JT. I wonder, is that going to be a...
They didn't stop ticking down, I don't think.
Maybe not. I thought ours did, but okay. Well, hopefully that'll get reset shortly. Either way, driver tracker's working.
All of my screens are saying 13 minutes 50 seconds.
Mine aren't. Let me see if refreshing it works. No, it doesn't. So hopefully that'll refresh it soon. I suppose it ticks down. Doesn't really have to stop that much. Where is Omi? Literally text in capital letters saying, what's the plan for qualifying? I said the plan for qualifying and it turned up.
That was because I asked you the plan for qualifying and you didn't respond, so then he asked it in capital letters.
Ah. It's his session, isn't it? Have you got the race control messages now, by the way?
Yeah, it's that was the way that I was looking at doing it, like when I was trying to find him, but it just wasn't working.
There's Valentino Rossi, the doctor. Yeah, they've been a bit dicky this morning. Honestly, the timings have not gone, you know... I don't know, the timings have not worked much today, which is a bit interesting. I'm going to try something now, so hopefully this works, it doesn't go wrong.
Marshall Post 15, yellow flag.
And that's down at the chicane at the Mulsanne. Gone green
Yellow
now.
removed.
I think it's an LMP2 car, it's gone straight off the road, not sure who though. I'm hoping this works. Because people didn't know what's...
Oh, never mind, it's gone.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to get this early because people were asking what session it was. So I'm hoping that this works for people to know where we are. There you go. Qualifying LMP2 and GT3. And we'll have hyperpole, etc. So, I don't know, it's difficult. I'm thinking we're going to see a surprise here, and we're not going to see the Aston Martins do very well. We've got the RSL team in 13th place at the moment overall. LMP2 is a wild card, with them being an invitational event. As they come across the line to start their next runs here. 183 was going a bit slow, just coming over the driver tracker line towards the first corner. Keep an eye on that one as it goes on top. 3 minute 36.020. That's your top time as the session will progress. 11 minutes to go. Not 3, 11 minutes. So that timing tower is incorrect. So we're going to have a further session to this. Can I go over that? Yes, I can. There we go. Because that timer is incorrect for this session. Over the line comes the Dragon LMP2. Now they couldn't call it Spyro the Dragon, could they? Is it what do they call it in the end? Spear? Right, you can't remember. Let's check in with the world feed.
Porsche.
VDS Panis Racing's Esteban Massa on purple sector 1 on this current lap, looking to improve. That's not going to mess with the order going through at the moment for Hyperpole, but everything can change so quickly. We've seen it time and time again, and LMP2 Racing so close.
It is so close. And you wonder what the cut-off time is going to be for this category in LMP2. So 36.0 is the fastest time we have on the board.
Go on, JT.
Well, Omi turned up, he's now disappeared, and now he's turned up again.
Omi, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Nice of you to turn up.
Well, I mean, I am doing other stuff, thank you very much. Okay. Well, I'm well, thank you. How are you, Lord?
Preparing for the mental hell that is 24 hours.
Right.
It's going to be a long day, as we now see the 34 LMP2 into Europole competition only car going a bit slow, coming through the Porsche curves before we come through the sweeping Porsche curve that got changed a couple of years ago. Now runoff area, no longer the hard barrier. How are you doing? Looking forward to this weekend? With you being on Academy and hosting the, leading the coverage for F3 and the qualifying session while I do this.
Yeah, F1 Academy and the Saturday of F1 will be quite fun, but I'll try popping where I can, of course, for Le Mans as well, especially doing the night bits of it as well. So yeah, going to be quite a lot of fun across the weekend. So looking forward to it all.
Me too. It's going to be a lot of fun as well, as we'll have 24 hours of fun, plus all the coverage from NASCAR, IndyCar. God knows how we're going to do Saturday, actually. I think people are going to be on... I think what's going to happen is that people are going to be commentating and also producing streams at the same time. That's how confusing it's going to get over the weekend. And the commentary boxes are going to be an absolute mess. If we can't bring a session to you live, we apologise. We'll prioritise the one that we can't upload again later. So things like IndyCar, we can upload later, we will do that sort of thing, because Le Mans takes precedent. Right, here comes the 28 IDEX Sport coming over the line. 9th fast at the moment. 35, 36, 37. Moves up into 7th with a 3 minute 37.271 as the Delta time. So puts himself slap bang in the centre of the Hyperpole class for LMP2. Here comes the VDS Panis Racing with Masson at the wheel. Up by 0.2 in the first sector. Personal best middle sector by 73 thousandths. Might just find something at the exit and recruit him on over the line and jumps up into 5th position. 1 place with a 3:36.588. Louis Delatraz now dropped to second. The APR squad went fastest. Let's see what Delatraz can do now in the AO. Over the line, goes fastest by 0.4 of a second. 3:37.24. GT?
Time in 71 is just updated to hypercar.
Yeah, they clearly... Yeah. Oh, it's done it. I'd just like to point out, it's done so on the Radio Le Mans thing as well. That we've got alongside us in the box, because obviously we'll hear from them throughout the session. But yeah, it just did the same thing there. So at least our timing screen knows what's what. Do you know, I was so happy earlier on. Did anyone see that? We actually had more viewers than Radio Le Mans. Thank you everybody, by the way, for tuning in. That means a lot. We'll be live throughout the whole weekend. Mixture of the battle screen plus ourselves on camera. Especially during, maybe not 2 AM though, we're all tired. We might go off camera for a bit. The United Autosports 95, that McLaren. United Autosports run by Zach Brown. McLaren are coming to the World Endurance Championship next season. They're leaving
and there's
Formula
a very mysterious box in the paddock, which absolutely no one knows about. Literally everyone knows about it. It's the 2027 hypercar.
Yeah, everybody knows what that is. And it looks fantastic though as well. That's the thing. The plans for the future of World Endurance Championship are so good.
A random box with a McLaren on it looks so good.
Yeah, but it's just, you know that they're going to come into it all guns blazing. Over the line comes the 27 Heart of Racing team with Ian James. The wheel goes second fastest, 3:57.083 in the GT3 squad. So improves up said order. But no, I'm on about in general. We've got a yellow flag.
Marshall Post 20 removed.
Okay, that was down. Is that down at
Mulsanne?
The Mulsanne chicane, yeah. Is it Mulsanne chicane or Mulsanne corner? In that case, it's the 34 JT who's gone off the circuit down at Mulsanne.
Apparently it was removed. Yes, it has been removed. Yeah. There we go.
I missed a radio there from the 46. There's no audio beep. We have to... And it's also got this weird... The WEC systems, they've got this sort of glass effect. So it's really hard to spot when it's on the monitor. Yellow flag again, JT.
Marshall Post 11, the first chicane.
It's the 150 car. And I hope that's just gone off the circuit and hasn't hit the barrier. That's the Richard Mille AF Corsa.
Yellow at Marshall Post 11 again.
Oh, this is looking good. This could be a red flag. Oh, I hope not. I really hope that we stay green here. The last thing we need is as a session suspended. But with 4 minutes to go, they will have to restart the session. It's still stuck down there.
Red.
Well, I think I cursed that, didn't I? 3:55 left on the clock. Now, that's not enough time for the GT3s to do a lap
Session
time.
will not be resumed.
And there it is. It just stops down at the chicane. So that's on the entry to the...
CCTV cameras coming in amazingly as well.
That's backwards as well. So the 150 has spun at the second half of the chicane. Session will not be resumed then. So the first part of qualifying is done. And that's because with 3:51 to go, the fastest time in the GT3 is a 3:56. They won't be able to get round to go again. The Team WRT team, though, with Valentino Rossi behind it, are fastest overall. Ben Keating, 17th in the TF Sport. That was hit. Now he's trying to qualify 2 cars, remember. The United Autosport in LMP2 and the 33 TF Sport. He's missed out on qualifying. So the 33 Corvette will start 17th on the grid for GT3. And there will be class splits, remember. So now we're going to go ready for Hypercar and their first part of qualifying.
You, Paul, for you, mate. Pole position, 2 tenths in front. Well done, mate. We are on the pole. Good job, mega lap, mate. It was a mega lap.
Do they know how this works? Yeah, you're through to hyperpole. You're not through to pole position yet. I don't think the team WTR team know how this works. There's a they're saying pole position, but
Hypercar qualifying session will start in 10 minutes,
Right.
and now 9 minutes.
So that's it. That's at 18:30, 17:30 over the local time. So there, how it works is we'll have Hyperpole 1, which was LMP2 and LMGT3, Hyperpole 2 for LMP2 and LMGT3, and then we'll have Hyperpole 1 for Hypercar and Hyperpole 2. So there's going to be separate groups of qualifying. This is qualifying for LMP2 and LMGT3. Now we're going to go into qualifying for Hypercar. So to change the format, but the red flag is out. The session will not be resumed. We're going to hand down to the world feed.
Sports 81 Corvette, Tom van Rompuy, the 88 Mustang, one of our Le Mans only entries, the Ziggo Tempesta Ferrari car number 193, that makes it through. An LMP2, AO by TF United's 23 and 22 make it through. Both Algarve Pro cars make it through. But there's been a few broken hearts.
I am with Sarah Bovy, who just joined Le Mans again this year at the Ardennes, but well, qualifying didn't go so well so far. You're not managing to make it to the Hyperpole, but it's a long race. Can you take us through what happened in quali for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know that Celia is going to be very disappointed, but I think she made some massive step compared to the testing session we had so far. A bit of traffic, a bit of red flag unluck, you know, but that's part of the game. I know this frustration, and I think today there were some drivers with a bit more experience of that exercise in the top 12. For me, she did well, but it's a 24 hours race, so for me, there is no big deal.
Plenty of time ahead of you. Thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you.
One other point to make here, gentlemen, in LMGT3, in that top 12, all 9 different makes of a car in that top 12. That's remarkable, including, by the way, and congratulations to Iron Lynx's
Car
number 61 car.
33 under investigation, pit lane speed.
Gets the car into hyperpole at its first attempt in a session that we saw one of the other cars, I'm afraid, out of the session during the session, and the other not join at all. Well done, Martin.
Yeah, excellent stuff from Martin Berry in only his 3rd race in the Mustang, in the Mercedes.
4th. 2 races in the LMS and
no, in WEC, yeah. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, particularly impressive when you think both his teammates didn't make it through, respectively, so they sit last and second to last. Obviously, the number 60 Iron Lynx had the issue, the fuel pickup issue, of course, but yeah, that's a good effort.
And the other one was crashed in the previous session and didn't leave the pit lane at all.
Just about 2 seconds separate the top 12 in both of those classes, all but for a couple of tenths here and there. But some extremely good performances there. AO by TF will be elated, as you can see, with topping that session.
And as if this session wasn't heartbreaking enough for poor old Ben Keating in car 33, is now under investigation for pit lane speed limit infringement, potentially. So
yikes.
Goes from bad to worse.
And the bigger problem is that the other car made it in. It's not like the Corvette, with the deal it's been dealt, has not been capable of that performance. They've simply not got the car underneath him that's given him the opportunity to get into hyperpole.
Well, ditto here for Iron Lynx. Their 9 car just wasn't where it needed to be in the end of it. You know, 15th place, that's where they will start on their grid. So from 13th on down, we know who's 13th. Proton's number 11 car, 14th, the number 18 from Edex Sport, 15th, Iron Lynx is number 9, 16th into Europol's 34 car, and last in LMP2 will be Nielsen's 24. Antonio Felix da Costa, well, with Francois Perrodo, Mathieu Vaxivière, that's a change to what has been a very successful and established lineup in 183. But they are
5 minutes until hypercar, 5 minutes.
Tomorrow. So, Ben Hanley, second fastest.
Easy.
Louis Delatraz, top of the pile. There's Ben Keating.
Dejected.
Yeah. I mean, a multiple pole sitter in World Endurance. Them's the brakes.
Yeah.
But again, not getting the magic out of the car, which Tom Van Rompuy did in the 81 car. He did make it through. So, yeah.
It's Ben Handley jumping out of the number 23 United Autosports. He had a great session, as you would expect from somebody as well accomplished as Ben Handley. So, yeah, full focus for them now for tomorrow.
There's the order. Team WRT in LMGT3 top the order, the 46 car, 356.875 ahead of the 27 Aston Martin of Heart of Racing, Multi First Forms 92 Porsche, a Codis ASP's Lexus TF Sports 81 Corvette, then the 88 Mustang from Proton Competition, the 193 Ziggo Sport Tempesta Ferrari. Who'd have had that in their bingo card for the top finishing Ferrari this evening? United Autosports get both of their McLarens in with the 59 in 8th. And then it's the 2 Vista AF Corsa cars and the second United car.
And 8 different marks in the top 8 cars in LMGT3. LMP2, all Orica 07s, but you know, there are all Orica 07s. So here's how they finished in LMP2. AO by TF fastest by 1800ths from the 23 of United. Algarve Pro's 45 car third rather than their 25, which is often closer to the top. And the cut-off 12th place, CLX Pure Racing. They made it in from Proton's number 11 car on down. They didn't.
Andre, this might sound a little bit funny, but it's the first time in the LMP2 car for you. And what's the target? Obviously, you didn't qualify. You must not be super happy about that, but it's a learning curve for Genesis Magma, and it's the beginning of a new story.
Yeah, exactly. First time LMP2 for me, and it's a long time I didn't do any qualifying, so it's been a while. But it's great to be part of the team. It's a bridge for Genesis Magma Racing for next year to prepare our hypercar program. We have engineers, mechanics, and people in the operations that are involved here with IDEX Sports to prepare next year, basically. So yeah, unfortunately not in the Hyperpole, but need to see what happened. I gave it a good push, but let's see where we lost the time.
Thank you very much.
We should mention, by the way, with Bruce talking to Andre Lotterer, what a legend there. If you do, by any chance, see Bruce Schwani at any point on the property this evening, please wish him a happy birthday.
45 already.
Well, it was a while ago.
He's just been in our ears. I don't think he's too happy about that, Graham. He's going to come and find you. No.
He's bigger than me as well. Well, I say bigger, taller.
Getting ready now for, I don't know what's going on, getting ready now for our hypercar qualifying session. So reset, but again, more of the same. Too many cars going for too few places. 21 cars in hypercar, only the fast 15 this time go through. So we will still have 6 cars that are going to be very disappointed at the end of this one.
But Anthony Davidson, a fundamentally different pattern here. No traffic.
This is brilliant. It's what I've been asking for years, decades even, at the Le Mans 24 Hours. When it comes to qualifying, don't we all want to see who's the fastest driver car combination? And for years we've been robbed of that chance because of traffic, drivers tripping over.
We know it was you in those years.
It was always my excuse, you know. Like, I wasn't on pole, I was robbed, hit traffic again. Not literally, of course, but well, not always literally. But now we get to see all the cars out there, no GTs or LMP2s to trip over, slowing you down. Seconds. They're all going to find their own space. 21 cars.
Under 30 seconds to start hypercar qualifying.
21 cars on a 14-kilometer circuit. They'll have a nice distance between them. Let's see who's the fastest. Let's see who gets through to the Hyperpole round 1 tomorrow.
Yeah, and round 2 will be good. We're getting ready for the start, though.
10, 9, 8, 7,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hypercar qualifying has started. Please remind drivers to respect track limits.
Keep off the grass is pretty much what they're going to say. We're underway for hypercar qualifying. 21 cars will venture out. And we are go, go, go. JT, what do you think we're going to see in this session?
I don't know, and I also might need to update all of my. There we go. It's a little bit annoying that you have to change sessions on the race control messages, but there it is. And well, half an hour underway for hypercars, as the world feed was saying, no traffic, 30 minutes of pure chaos. With no other classes involved in this. Green flag at the end of the pit lane, and there goes the two Aston Martin cars, the 007 and the 009. 007 as a car number for an Aston Martin. Very, very fitting.
I love it. A perfect number, personally, as well. And do you know, I look at the Radio Le Mans stream that I've got up here in the commentary box as well, that we're going to be keeping an eye on. We'll have it on our monitors around as well. Can't wait to show you around the commentary box, actually, for what we've got set up on Sunday. You're going to love it, the amount of screens we've got set up for race day. But their timing tower is so out of sync, it's annoying. It's like they've just cropped it on the side with timing 71. It's like, come on, a little bit more. They've got multiple angles though on their track side. But we have all the people here watching on as well. Omi, what about you then? Go on.
And you've got some random guy sitting in his chair looking at race control messages, counting down, which is somehow perfectly synced with the actual countdown from WEC.
I was impressed with that actually. When it came on, I was like, wow, you really are in sync, aren't you? I thought you had the radio for a second from race control. I thought you'd hacked into their Discord.
No, I've worked out the TV delay to the real-time delay. 13 seconds, if anyone wanted to know.
Pretty much standard, isn't it? Omi, what about you? We were covering Spa a couple of months back as well, and we were excited about what we saw there. Let's hear from Nielsen.
I will focus a bit on brake warm-up.
That's Anthony Davidson's voice.
You shall not talk, Omi.
Go on, Omi. What do you think? What do you think we're going to see in this session?
Something interesting, I think. I think we're going to get a very interesting qualifying session, and it's going to be quite a lot of fun. But yeah, I was enjoying people not letting me because I did.
Sorry, what? Has he gone dead for you, JT, as well?
Omi has just vanished. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, a session underway, and we are in. Well, we're nearly into the first 5 minutes of the session. That's coming in around under 2 minutes' time as we head through the Porsche curves for the first time of asking for the number 20 BMW.
Robin Frines at the wheel, former Formula E driver as well. It's great to say, actually, by the way, that all Formula E world champions have now raced at Le Mans.
Yeah.
That's something we can add to the bingo
Also,
cards.
JB.
Yeah, go on.
Do you have a spare $400,000?
Not on me. Why?
The Season 1 World Championship winning car is on sale for Formula E.
For $400,000?
For $400,000.
That's brilliant. Nelson Piquet's car. But you can't ever use it because there's no battery for it. The technology has already become lost. JT, right, hello, go on, Andy. Where have you gone? I can't find you. There you are.
Right, how about you give me about 300 to buy a lip mic instead?
300 quid? If I had that, I would have it first. No offence.
Wow.
If I had
Omi,
600...
let's not mention that I'm still waiting from
That's also true. Yeah, well, your
anyway,
oven,
25 minutes left in the session.
Your oven didn't explode. And had to go on fire brigade. Oh, I've got something actually for the Le Mans 24 hours. Do you know that? Did you hear what Megan? By the way, they're all out on the circuit right now, so we're already in the Le Mans, rubbish chat. Megan is making brownies. She's going to make 24, and she's going to write the number on each one, and I get a brownie an hour for when the race has been completed.
And that is the JB Motorsports version of how to get diabetes in 24 hours.
I'll tell you what, you should see the plans we've got for when we hit the night time. Oh, it's going to be great. Let's just say that a wireless microphone may be involved. Outside of the commentary box, I will be sat with a campfire. Yeah.
Watch out, the people of JB Street. He will be interviewing random people at night.
Fire! Yeah. No, we're gonna have a little. If it's dry, we're gonna have a little campfire outside with a fire pit. Me and Megan will be talking into this.
Does
and we'll
JB know that there's thunderstorms this weekend?
Oh, you're joking!
For the south and possibly the semi-north of the UK.
Yeah, but I'm in the northeast, so I should be fine. Fingers crossed. Let's take a look at the full sector time, shall we? The first ones are getting through. Porsche Penske seem to be quick, but it is, by my knowledge, the number 6 Porsche Penske with Kevin Estre at the wheel, who is fastest at the wheel so far. Is it going to be dry for me, JT?
It is. Can you have the campfire Sunday instead?
No, it's Saturday evening, just after qualifying.
Saturday evening after qualifying, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, for Formula 1, after qualifying for Formula 1.
Alright. Yeah, it's unfortunately going to be dry.
Oh, brilliant. So if anybody wants to tune in, we're going to call it the JB Barbecue Hour. So the 20 BMW sets the benchmark, 3:24.683. Immediately, we've got the benchmark set, and second fastest for the number 7 Toyota Gazoo Racing with Nick de Vries at the wheel, 3:25.062. So there could have been something there. Pierre Guidi in the 51 Ferrari of Corsa up in the middle sector. Let's check who's going to have it next over the line as well. JT, over to you. Oh, hang on.
Up, finished that lap.
Yeah, Nick de Vries flying out there as the 2 Ferraris cross the line now.
Over the line. And it's a Ferrari 1, 2, 3, but not the way you might think, JT and Omi. The 83 Ferrari of Corsa has gone fastest overall, 3:23.994. Who saw that coming?
Thank you so much for throwing commentary over to me when I was not even in the studio.
I wasn't. Well, I had somebody hand me a mashed potato, so I had to sample the mashed potato. Pretty greedy.
That's.
Let's keep pushing if you think you can improve. Otherwise, we do a pull.
Omi, what about you? That's surprising. As Porsche number 6 goes second fastest as we lose TV pictures.
Yeah, we do. But the number 83 doing very, very well. But after what we've seen so far this season by the number 83, of course, disappointment at Spa. But after what we've seen, I'm not really surprised to some degree to see them up there. But to be ahead of the Ferraris quite well, as the number 6 Porsche is now in second as well.
It's not just me, I'm delighted to say, because I can look at Radio Le Mans' commentary box and see that they've also lost pictures as well. So there's a picture breakup from the actual World Endurance team. Seems to have been stabilised now. I can see Johnny Palmer frantically putting his hands to his lips like, oh dear, what's going on here? But it's fine now. So Yiffy Yee is on top from Kevin Estre, Alessandro Pierre Guidi, and then Nissan coming in there as well. Ferrari 1, 3, and 4. That's more like it then, with 20 minutes to go. Yeah, 20. That was just one run. That's how long this lap is. Peugeot look good. Alpine look okay. As the session goes on. Let's have a look then on board with the 50. Ferrari of Corsa with Nielsen. I mean, Ferrari, and let's hear from Chris.
Okay, so current best lap is 24.0 Yife, then Porsche 24.2. You are P4. That's off, we follow the plan, that's good.
Yeah, Hyperbol here goes down to 15th, so Peugeot 16th, 17th, 007 Aston in 18th, 38 Cadillac 19th. But Omi, I suppose Ferrari have dominated this season so far. victory after victory after victory. Are we really surprised that 2 years running they've won back-to-back at Le Mans? Once more they're faster.
Yeah, I think on the evidence of this season, it makes sense that they are at the top, and it makes sense that they are the ones to be coming into this year. So it's not the Porsche or Toyota show like we've seen, with the expectation being that they would be the ones to deliver the performance. Here's Nielsen.
Close this one if you want. We're happy to close this one with Delta Zero, that's good.
That means close out the lap, finish it. The Delta looked good, so he's going to do the run as he comes down towards the Ford chicane. Through Recruitment. Over the line for Nielsen in the 50 Ferrari. And does he move up from fourth? No. 4 tenths down, 324, 444 over the line. So lost out a bit more Delta. Ryan Marine has just stepped into the Radio Le Mans commentary box. Friend of the channel. And hopefully we'll hear Ryan back shortly up here in the commentary box. I presume, have you lost pictures, guys, on your end?
No.
Oh, might just be a problem then with mine. At the moment, over the line comes Jack Aitken. And in the Cadillac for the V-Line Engineering. Stays 8th. Of course, the V-Line coming from the GTP category in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Sebastian Bourdais in 12th now. So gets that Cadillac through. Fastest this morning in practice. I said this morning, this afternoon for Bourdais. So the Jolter Squad Cadillac has got some speed. Porsche Penske now rapid to get this sorted. Nice to see them back actually in the championship. But with the Michelins, good tyre stops for everybody and away. So, cool down laps beginning. Let's pass over quickly to the world feed.
Fly squish cleaned off.
Just seeing that the number 94 and the number 93 Peugeots both went out on used medium tyres for this session. I don't know how many laps they had on them, but I'm sure they're going to be coming in and putting a brand new set on next. So that might explain why they're out of the top 15 at this point.
Well, it could explain why Dries van Teur is out of the top 15, because his track limits on another flying lap for the number 15 car.
And that's what you want to iron out. You have to get a banker in. When you know there are only 6 cars going out, you've got to get that banker lap in. You can't afford to be throwing laps away, as we see the Aston Martin 009 in the pits getting fueled up.
Currently in for hyperpole, but it's got to stay there for another 17 minutes or so on pit lane. Our session leader, EFA, and also Kevin Estre, the second place car, on a flyer at the moment, and a purple first sector for Alessandro Perguidi in the number 51 Ferrari.
On board with the 20th car in hypercar, the 007 Aston of Harry Ticknell. 10 years ago, was it, Graham, that he was driving the front-wheel drive Nissan LMP1 prototype?
Could there be 2 more different top-class cars?
I know. The variety of machinery that Ticknell's driven is in GTs and in prototypes is remarkable.
And they really have to drive this thing. It's still obviously very much in its infancy. And Tinknell and all the teammates in these cars having to drive out of their skin. I can see it really on the ragged edge. Everything they can muster to keep the car pointing in a straight line at times.
And Omi we're seeing as well, Tinknell and the Aston Martin really struggling. That 007 car coming to the championship, very little testing, and they're going, okay, let's just throw it in at Le Mans straight away.
Yeah, let's try get to this big event, part of the Triple Crown, and see what happens is the type of approach that the 007 is going with. As if you are synced up with us, we're on board with it as it currently makes its way through and is attacking in that final sector of the lap, trying to extract the time and trying to see where the improvement can come as well. That's a vital thing for these drivers, to improve on the benchmark that they've already been given. There will be conversations between themselves and the team on where to improve as well. As we take a look at some of those Michelin tyres as well, down in the pit lane, everyone just preparing and getting ready for those final few runs coming into play as well, with just under 15 minutes now to go on the clock. We've got the number 7 coming down into pit lane. The Cadillac improving to 4th as well, so that's very nice stuff from them. Also joined by another Cadillac. So we've got the number 12 in 4th, we've got the number 38 in 5th. So they've both been able to find the improvement that they need. The number 51 is going very quickly, so it may have been AF Corsa that had the advantage at the front of the field, but the 51 is getting a response, and getting a response to the top of the table by 600ths of a second.
This is looking much, much better. Here comes the Aston Martin now. Harrington, nowhere does he progress? 19, that's 1 position up from where he was. It's not good enough so far. So we've got Ferrari, Porsche, Cadillac, Ferrari, Porsche, Alpine, BMW, Cadillac, top 10, 2 Toyotas. Remember when they dominated for year upon year? Yeah, 11th and 12th at the moment, facing the drop. They're second back. We're looking at them now, and I think, JT, they are in a bit of trouble. For the first time, Toyota struggling at Le Mans in a qualifying session. We saw them struggle last 2 seasons. They haven't won, but in qualifying, they're always quite strong. So to you, Amy.
Both the Cadillac Hurst Team Joda cars, that's the top 5. The bottom 6, though, is where we need to be looking, and it is Porsche Penske Motorsports number 4, Proton Competitions 99, the 94 Peugeot, then the 007 Aston Martin, the 93 Peugeot, just on an outlet right now, and the 15 BMW Team WRT car of Dries van Tor, who's not had a clean lap in this session.
The big gap is between Aston Martin 009, 1.37 back, and the number 4 Proton Porsche, Penske Porsche, 1.9 seconds back. So,
right, go on, Amy, now, because I know your mic was muted. Go on.
Yeah, I was speaking, but the mic was muted, unfortunately. But yeah, Toyota, with the expectation we were just discussing about coming into this year, I think that's different, and the performance on the circuit is not optimal and not what they would have wanted. While maybe it's still the expectation of Ferrari being at the front, you would expect Toyota to absolutely still be in the mix, but they find themselves really, really struggling. And this is a team who were in the question mark of being contenders over the last few years. So it is definitely quite something, and we were expecting some surprises, and we're immediately getting them.
Over the line then as well becomes the 99, and not going well there, unfortunately, either. Now down towards the chicane, so that's down in Proton in 17th position. Proton Porsche, not the factory Porsche Penske squad. Even they've got the number 4 missing out of it right now. On board with Mick Schumacher then, the 26-year-old in the Alpine Endurance squad. How close was he to a victory at Spa? Alpine was so good, and then that safety car at the wrong time cost them. Oh.
It was so disappointing. I mean, of course, I was streaming about the middle of the race as well. And I remember all of the conversations that were going on. Could Alpine do it when Schumacher was emerging all the way to the top with Alpine? And yeah, it was definitely a discussion. Then when we got here, the chance was starting to fade away slightly. But the Alpine was really, really strong when it came to that round. And they were impressive. And I mentioned at the start, and I gave a prediction, how I thought Alpine could actually get possibly a podium, and yeah, they were absolutely in contention that round. So it was great to see Alpine being able to secure that 3rd position, an opportunity which of course came due to what happened to the 83 with that retiring. But Alpine will want to be in the mix once again, and remember, we've got 24 hours. There's lots of time for dramas to happen for the 50, the 51, or even the 83.
And it does happen here at Le Mans, the drama as well. Long-time leaders have retired from the race. Only a couple of years ago, in the early years of the hypercar, we had for quite the majority of the race an LMP2 as overall leader, and looked like it was going to win until the Toyota, the sole remaining Toyota in that race, I think it was the number 8, came back and took victory after the 7 stops down at the Porsche curves in the middle of the night. 10 minutes to go then here in qualifying for hypercar. After this, we get a couple of hours break for food, lunch, cars get a cool down, and then we go into the night practice as well. Now, the last half hour, the world feed will be taking you through it, because I have to get off to the Grid Tonight show. So you'll be split between ourselves here at JB Motorsport and the world feed of the Radio Le Mans team. So that's just a heads up to you all about what you're going to witness this evening. Ferrari, of course, that looks strong. Both the Ferrari AF and the AF Corsa squad. 1, 2, as you can see on your pictures. Now, just explain how it works. Blue means that you're in the pit lane. Green means you're on an active lap. And yellow means that you're on an out lap. That's how the timing tower works with the little stripes you see next to the numbers in the name of positions. So just in case you didn't know how to read the timing monitors, we're here to tell you. Also, the sector time graphics this weekend with the, coincidentally enough, in the colours of the French flag, which always makes me smile. It's not deliberately done like that, it's just a coincidence. That's how the sector times work. Blue for sector 1, a whitish yellow for sector 2, and then red sector 3. Makes it hard to tell when the yellow flags come out though. Right, lap times now over the run. They've done their cool laps. Now time for a push, then another cool, then one final push. And with no traffic, this is what we needed to see. I don't know why they don't split up the others. Jean-Eric Verne, 20th in the 93 Peugeot at the moment, has boxed this lap. Where can I watch this? It's on FIA WEC TV, TNT Sports 2 in the UK, and Discovery Plus. There's numerous onboards as well for drivers and teams. Let's take a look at the 93 Peugeot now into the pit lane. All 4 tyres getting a change. Some 36 different sets of tyre compounds for Hypercar across the weekend. Front wheel drive. And away it goes. One thing that always amazes me, is the fact is that we see very little breakdowns these days. The cars are so ultra reliable. It kind of isn't really... In fact, I sometimes think we should make this a 48-hour race because it's no longer the challenge of car endurance. It's just... Yeah, they can make it. Let's just get it right with fuel strategy. We need to add something like that random element that we hope happens week in, week out, just keeps getting less and less and less.
Yeah, the more that we advance, the technology is getting better and better, and it's meaning that no matter even if it's this or let's say Formula 1 or something, everything is getting better in terms of technology. We're seeing less and less issues come in, and that'll be something that's continued to work by everyone as we see the 101 Cadillac go to 7th position at the moment. But yeah, that'll be something that continues to improve even further. So there might even be a point where we're having absolutely minimal issues when it comes to even the 24 hours of Le Mans. But yeah, so we are currently seeing quite a lot of laps. Kevin Estre pushing on quite a bit, as at the moment the Cadillac goes to the top. So that's an interesting lap that's come in as Estre continues to push on.
Jack Aitken then in the 3-1-1. Back to the top, very wide there for Mick Schumacher. So just at the exit of Mulsanne, having a little bit of an issue, but he's kept it going.
Yellow, Marshall Post 32, Porsche curves.
So I'm taking a look down there.
Yellow.
It's the 35. So the 35 at the Porsche curves. Well, this is Porsche curves. Well, Mick's through there now. Yeah, there's a car off in the gravel trap. There it is.
Slippery surface at Marshall Post 28.
The 35 Alpine almost hits the 36 Alpine coming through the Porsche curves. Mick Schumacher's going to keep his foot in it. There's a slippery surface flag out, but I don't know if that would mean that we have a possibility of a lap time cancel for Schumacher because he did go through that double yellow zone. He's over the line now, but this is critical to get out of that drop zone because he's gone 5th fastest.
Green flag.
10 places up for Mick Schumacher. 3:24.148. Nearly got wiped out by his teammate, but that's how it works. And Porsche number 4 goes through, kicks out the Aston Martin 009. And this is what happened to the other 35 Alpine through the Porsche curves.
Absolutely, we're getting a look at a replay. Full attack it was as they were navigating their way through, and they're going to lose the car, loop it around momentarily, being able to still control it, keeping it out of the wall, and that was absolutely critical as well. But they rejoined and very nearly into the path of the other Alpine there.
And that's why the barrier was moved back some years ago. How close he got to the Tech Pro wall. And if he'd have whacked that, it would have disintegrated like dropping a, well, how do I describe it? Dropping a lollipop from the Empire State Building. It would have shattered at the bottom half. Dries Van Horth watching on now as well. Are you laughing about that, JT?
No, possible debris at
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. We can see it. So BMW Van Horth now in... Where is it on our timing monitor? BMW is... I can't actually see it over our timing screen. It's going to come over the line now anyway. And move up into first position. 15 BMW, a stunning lap. 3:22.887. 4.5 tenths of a second faster than the number 6 Porsche. Superb lap time. That is fantastic. Oh, thank you to My Name is Jeff for saying that the WEC is actually blocked in America. So if you want to watch this coverage in the United States, Max has the 24 hours in the US. Who used to have it? Go on. Philippe Albuquerque in the Cadillac WTR over the line. Moves up into P8. So look at, oh my word, look who's at risk. It's the number 7 Toyota Gazoo Racing. Wow! 2.175 down. We're on board with Nick de Vries now, who's up. He's not up by much, is he? 3/10 in the middle sector. He's back, so this will put him provisional second. But Omi, Toyota in real trouble with 3 minutes to go.
Toyota needs something special, and they will know it. So will Nick de Vries as well. They will need to extract absolutely everything in the remainder of this lap if they want to get through. We were discussing how they are not on pace and how they are not finding the performance that they need, but not being inside that top 15 by the end of this would be an even bigger shock as they make their way through. Can Nick de Vries extract it all at the end to find the time? It will be vital for the Dutch driver pushing on right now, the number 7, and he will definitely have to try and at least improve and put himself further out of risk. He's in 15th at the moment. He's currently in, but he will be vulnerable to those drivers behind who will be trying to find the time as well. We've got Robin Frijns making his way through. We've got Felipe Nasser pushing on as well. So loads of drivers on the charge at the moment, meaning that everyone must respond.
What about the 4 Porsche Penske? Currently in 16th, just outside both other Porsche Penskes. 12 to the top.
12 to the top, that's the Cadillac moving up. That's really put the 7 Toyota under pressure as we now see Felipe Nasser in the number 4 Porsche. Over the line, we come out of a coup de monde. Is he through? No! Stays in 16th position. He'll get one more lap if the car can do a double. Over the line comes the Toyota. No! He doesn't improve either! Pandemonium! Is the 99 going to improve? That's another question. Yes! Aston! 009 Aston! It's improved! The number 7 Toyota is out of hyperpole! I do not believe what we are witnessing here! Over the line, 14th BMW moves up to 6th. That's the 20 with Robin Frijns at the wheel. BMW into 2nd position. The number 5 Porsche moves up into 6th position. Aston Martin there, and the Toyota number 7 is out of qualifying for hyperpole tomorrow. Can you believe what we are witnessing here at Le Mans? The dominators, the giants for so many years have been beaten and ground into a pulp. They won't even have the chance to hyperpole. Unheard of again. Here comes the 94 Peugeot, the Total Energies. Stoffel Van Dorn at the wheel, slides out of a coup de monde, up towards the line from 20th position. Can he kick out the 007? No! So he goes 18th overall. 20 seconds left, I mean, I think we now know what we're going to have.
It looks set, but still, it is definitely something that will be talked about for a long time to come with that Toyota. Absolutely wild stuff. And we're just looking to finish off the lap time to see if there's anything else that will change right at the end of this. But wow, what a shock. The number 7 Toyota out and the Aston Martin able to get through. The checkered flag is now flying.
So flags out. I don't think anybody else is improving. Harry, go on.
Schumacher under investigation, not respect yellow flag, car 36.
Now, that is 13th on the board. If that car gets kicked out of qualifying with its fastest lap, that would put the Toyota back into qualifying. So this could go on a bit later into the night than we think, first off. So it's 15th position. That's your cut-off for Hyperpole. Everybody below, so 16 down, they are out. And they are locked in their qualifying positions. Here comes Harry Ticknell in the 007 Aston Martin Thor team. They were squiggly over the line of Recudemont. 21st, flag falls, stays 21st, doesn't improve. Felipe Nasr in the number 4 Porsche Penske Motorsport comes through the Porsche curves, only 7/10 down. This could still spell trouble for the 009 Aston Martin as we pick up through karting down towards the Ford chicane before Recudemont for Felipe Nasr. Time ticking away. The middle sector puts him as 7/10 back. The 99 Proton Competition of Niogiani at the wheel. Through Recudemont now, up towards the line. Nasr, is he quicker than Sorensen's time? Flag falls, eyes to the clock, and he is faster! Out goes Sorensen! All of the Porsches go through. It's Aston Martin kicked out. Schumacher's gone 10th. Schumacher's gone 10th, so even though that time does get deleted, he's just gone better. So Schumacher improves, and I think that's it. The 99's into the pit lane. I don't think Jean-Eric Verne's improving. So we have our runners. Sorensen is out. He's already said that's enough. So, out of qualifying is the 009 Aston Martin, the number 7 Toyota, the 94 and the 93 Peugeot, and the 99 Porsche. Progressing through is the 12 Cadillac, the 15 BMW, the 51 Ferrari, the 6 Porsche, the 38 Cadillac, the 50 Ferrari, the 5 Porsche, the 20 BMW, the 311 V-Line Engineering Cadillac, the 36 Alpine, the 8 Toyota, the 83 Ferrari AF Corsa, the 101 Cadillac, the 4 Porsche, and the 35 Alpine. They will all go through. Omi, what on earth just happened?
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to describe it. Unbelievable stuff. Many surprises in there. Many shocks, and it'll be interesting to see how it is all going to play out and end as well, and whether there will be anything post-session, which of course we saw the moment between the Alpines as they were pushing on. So yeah, it will be quite interesting to see whether anything comes of that. So still, this, as you mentioned, will continue long into the night for sure.
Okay, JT, what about you?
Hello.
What do you make of that mess?
Well, not as bad as previous qualifying sessions, was it?
I think it could have been worse. I don't know how it could be for Toyota.
We've seen worse, definitely.
I think if we're not careful, they might commit Harry-Carry at the back of the garage later on. They're going to have to start from so far down the middle field, and we know Toyota get involved in accidents at the starts here. Dear, dear, dear. Okay, can you guys still see the TV pictures, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, let's head down to the world feed.
The third best caddy is Whelan Action Express in 9th, and the fourth caddy, WTR Wayne Taylor Racing, also goes through to Hyperpole at their very first time of trying this.
Amazing stuff.
Well, let's hear from Marco Sorensen at Aston Martin.
Well, we're having to wait for him.
Well, Sorensen 2 tenths away. one of our media colleagues, has jumped in front of the camera to interview Marco. But Hertz Team Jota, the number 12 caddy, on top of the pile. Disappointing for Peugeot. They're going to start 18th and 19th with the 99 Proton Porsche and the 007 Aston behind them. But Hertz Team Jota...
Well, the reason they're celebrating a lot there is because they know they got the car for tomorrow as well. For Hyperpole 1 and 2.
TNT.
Yep, thanks TNT for that one. Well, that is a surprise. And now you can see in about 2 hours' time, we'll be back for the Practice 2 session as well. Omi, final thoughts. Hyperpole tomorrow is going to be very, very exciting.
Well, it was already exciting trying to see people get through to the Hyperpole, and now to actually see the battle at the front take the main priority, it's going to be quite a lot of fun. Cannot wait.
JT, what about you? Hyperpole tomorrow.
Yeah, and well, that's where it normally gets a little bit more chaotic if the day one of qualifying, we can call it, that chaotic, then it normally gets a little bit more chaotic in the Hyperpole sessions, which are tomorrow. But before that, we've got a couple of more practice sessions, including, well, you better turn the lights on because it's going to get a little bit dark around the Circuit de les Arts.
It's our favourite time. Night practice is next up here on JB Motorsports. If you're watching live, you'll be automatically redirected, ready to go for that stream later on tonight. My thanks to Omi, my thanks to JT. All right, night session running. Yeah, let's do that next. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Go have some lunch. Bye-bye.